Hi and welcome to my channel, JustJerriJ, with me, JerriJ. Today I'm going to run through my workflow in Lightroom, how I edit all my images, giving me a clean, consistent look over my social media platforms as well as my website. If you're wondering how to create content during this time, then please check out the link above and that'll show you how I created content during lockdown in my house. And now that I've shot those images, let's head over to Lightroom desktop to start editing. Hi, so this is my Lightroom Classics. As you can see over here on my left hand side, I have my Lightroom presets and the presets that come with the program. And over here, I have my development system. So this is one of the images that I shot around my house. And here are a few of the other images that we'll be working on today. As you can see, these already have presets on them. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I will reset those presets. So let's start with this one. So at the moment this has got the crop on that I want. This is the crop here. So I have it at 4:5 and that's my crop. Now what I'll do is I'm going to copy this. Now I always uncheck all or check none, and then I make sure that I've got this checked and then the crop that I want, and I copy it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to here and I'm going to show you that I'm going to reset. This is the quick version, but reset all settings. So as you can see, and then I'm going to paste my crop back on. And I'll probably do the same with this one. File, reset all settings, and then I'm going to paste the crop back on. And again with this one. So we're going to go into settings, we're going to reset all settings for you, and then I'm going to paste the crop back on. Okay. Now generally if I shoot, I make sure that I have an even light. I believe this one was a little bit darker, so let's reset this one. Let's reset this one. Yeah, so this is a little bit darker. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. So there's one of my images. Now what I generally do is I go through my presets, the ones that I like to use. So that's my daily go-to. Now all these presets are 0 exposure. So the exposure is generally I will shoot so I'm an even or a little bit darker than what I like, and then I will bring it up in post afterwards. So when you get these presets, the exposure will be at 0, and then you can fine tune them to see what fits for you. So then I have movie time, summer glow, film tones, modern film tones, black and white, and a warm summer glow. So my daily go-to is what I usually have on my Instagram. And then what I'll do is I'll head over here and I'll bring up my ISO or my exposure on here to suit the kind of look and feel that I'm going to use. And then you can also tweak here. So this is your highlights in the background, so you can brighten them up, which looks quite nice. These are your shadows. This is to open up your shadows, and this is to darken your shadows. So I like mine to be open up a tiny little bit. And then you've got the whites, which you can see the light changing there. And I like mine to be quite an airy, and then you've got your blacks here. Just crushing your blacks just that way, or opening up the blacks again, which is a bit like using your shadows. And then as you can see, I've got my clarity down a little bit, so it's nice and smooth out the skin. I have vibrance and saturation. So that's the kind of stuff that I like my images to look like. Now I can either copy and paste this, and here I will check all. I generally will uncheck white balance because wherever I am, my camera usually would have done the white balance for me, or I will change the white balance for each image separately depending on what it is that I've actually shot. Exposure, I will uncheck that as well because each image will have a different exposure. And crop, I've already put a crop on, so I'll uncheck that, and then I'll copy it. I'll head over to my next image and then I will paste it in. There we go. It took its time, but there we go. So that is it pasted in. So there we go, before and after. And then if we can see a before and after of this shot as well. Perfect. So then let's move on to this shot here, and then let's go for the daily go-to again. So as you can see, it gives me an overall tone, and then what I'll do is I'll come over to exposure and I will brighten it up to where I see fit, really, to see what I prefer my images to look like. Now, the curves are already set, so is the sharpness, the highlight properties, which is your vignette, and your grain. I like to add a little bit of grain into my skin tones to make it look less digital. So then let's go over to this one. So let's pick another image. Let's go to something like golden or gone vintage. So with the gone vintage, this has got a nice fade on it, and then I'll come up here and I will change my exposure. Now you can change exposure, and if you think, oh actually now that I've put the gone vintage on, it's a bit too warm, you can come over to your ISO and you can bring it down a little bit. Or you can keep it quite golden and go up like that. And again, you can play around with your highlights. This is, your preset to change. I'm giving you a base level, and then you can play around with it from there. If you don't want it, you can go back to reset all, and you can restart from the beginning. So let's go to give me golden. Now this generally works when you're on holiday. It looks really lovely when you're on holiday. So let's add that up a little bit for the exposure. I generally wouldn't go above 2 stops, but it depends on my image. And then I'm going to bring up my highlights. Now for this, depending on what you've shot, I might just bring down my temperature, and I think that's lovely. So I really like that, and that's what I would kind of stick for that image, using the Give Me Golden preset. So you can just play around with generally this section here, your exposure, your highlights, your shadows, and then change your white balance to match. Generally I don't really mess with the tint too much, but change your temperature to match the tone and look you want, and the rest you can keep in. So I usually use the Give Me Golden when I'm on holiday. So let's go back and reset that again. And then let's try another setting. So let's try movie time. Now I chose movie time, as you can see, it's really green. So let's try the movie time. And I'm gonna put a bit of temperature in there. I'm gonna bring up my highlights. I'm gonna add a little bit warmth in. I'm going to change that. Now here, you can either add a little bit more pink in, or you can stick to how I have it. So that was at 26, my different RGBs that you can play with. Okay, so then let's reset that again. And let's go to film tone. This is one of my favorites as well. So this is a film tone. And then what I do is I will open up my exposure on that as well. And then on this one, I might either have it really faded like that, or I might just bring in my blacks a little bit and crush them. And I might just bring back my shadows, or I might open it up a little bit more. I generally will have a play and see what works. So, I mean, I really like something like that, and then I'll probably bring down my exposure a little bit more. Maybe something a bit like that. Yeah, I really like that. So that's super cute. And then let's go to something else. Let's have a look at Floki. So let's have a look at Floki and see what he's up to. Again, I will go through them. And he looks really, that's my daily go-to. I'll brighten that up. He looks really cool like that. gone vintage. That's really nice. Happy everyday. So that's quite a clean one. So that can use for nearly every image that you've got. Holiday vibes. And as you can see, like the tones change depending on what image you're working on. Real light, movie time, a stronger one, movie time part 2, a lighter version, summer glow, film tone, modern film, a softer version, cool black and white, that's quite nice. Vintage black and white, that's quite nice as well. And we can go for something like that, and then maybe just brighten it up a little bit. And then because my blacks are really dark, you can just open up and then maybe bring back those highlights on his chest a little bit. Now, cool. That's a nice one for black and white. So guys, that's a simple, quick review of how I use my presets to edit my images, and also a creative view of what I do with my presets as well. But yeah, generally that is how I will use them. Okay guys, so that was my quick tour of how I use Lightrooms on my developing side. And if I go to the library section, as you can see, these are the images that I've collected, and these are all 5 stars, and this is my 5-star rating down here. And I import my images by pressing the import button. And then I will go to whatever it is I need. So at the moment I'm on my hard drive, and I'll go to my images, which are here, and there are all the images that I've shot. So then I will click on that, and then I will put a metadata in. I will either make a new one, or I'll put one in that I already have, and I'll drag that over. And then I press development, and then I start playing with my images. So guys, that's a quick run through of Lightrooms. I hope that is easy to understand. And yeah, you can get a selection of the presets on my website, JustJerriJ.com. Thanks guys. Great news guys, Adobe Lightroom Mobile is a free application, so you can download the JustJerriJ preset, and I'm giving away 3 free presets today on the link below. Get them downloaded, get Lightroom Mobile downloaded, and start editing your images today. My next video is coming really soon, but in the meantime, please get in touch and let me know you're watching. I want to hear all about your business and your creative journey and what you want to see here on JustJerriJ. So please do subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. Until next time. Presets in there as well, and I'm giving away 3 free, oh my god, why did I say it? We'll use the JustJerriJ presets in there as well, and that juicy little piece of gift